Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Tej, and today I'm be showing y'all how to make an aggressive piano beat for NBA YoungBoy. This beat is inspired by some of the more aggressive beats that he has on his recent project, Sincerely Cantrell. I made the beat from scratch, so I'll be breaking down all the components of the loop and showing y'all how I added my drums. As always, I'll have the full beat played at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around for that. And with all that out of the way, let's just hop right into the beat. Alright, so to start off, I want to talk about the tempo. I landed on 170 BPM, but usually for these type of beats, I think anywhere from like 160 to 190 usually works. And if you're doing this in normal time, you want to be between 80 and 95 BPM. Alright, so now hopping into our melodies, the first sound that I got was this LA Custom Grand Piano preset in Omnisphere. So going into the first melody, how I constructed this is I used the D minor scale and I just laid out this bass note pattern right here. And then once I had that, I just went ahead and I pasted some of these bass notes an octave up and then just started building some chords and intervals with those. And all I did is I basically just used the D minor chord and the D suspended chord. And so the D minor triad is just D, F, and A. And then the suspended triad is the same thing except moving that F down to E, which is the 2 in the scale. So that being said, our first melody sounds something like this. So then I routed that to a mixer and I put an EQ on it. It's just a high pass and I cut it at about 50 hertz just to cut out some of that really low rumble. So I have some room for some of my bass sounds later in the loop. And then I added some RC20. I just went to the Vinyl 3 preset and turned everything off and left the magnetic on. And then I added some wider and put it to 98%. After that, I went to X-Band and I got this pickless pick bass preset. I went ahead and put in this pattern that kind of mirrored our bass note pattern from the piano, except I just placed it on the notes that I wanted to have a little more emphasis. I just added a couple extra accent notes here and there just to make it sound a little more interesting. After that, I added another LA Custom Grand Piano and I put in this top melody with the keys. So for my top melody for the piano in the mixer, I put on a high pass to take out some of the key noises. And then I put on some reverb. It's just the venue preset. I turned the wet down and the dry down a little bit. So in terms of main melodic components, I only really have those 4 right there. And the rest that I add on are just kind of like hits or ear candy, just some additions to make the loop sound a little more like an NBA YoungBoy loop. So to start off the melody, I have 2 different sounds hitting. So the first thing I have is this brass sound. I layered that with this guitar wah sound. So both of them put together with the rest of our melody sounds like this. Next, I added this guitar stab. I pitched them a little bit and put them in the pattern like so. And then lastly, I got this wah sound, and that sometimes just hits on the 5th measure of my 8 measure pattern. After I had all the patterns together, I rendered them out as audio clips. I arranged them into the loop, stemmed them out, and I rendered them into an audio clip. After I had the loop and stems rendered out, I opened up a new project file and I arranged the melody as such. I pitched it up 2 half steps from the MIDI, so the new key for this beat is E minor. So with our arranged sample and all that, first drum sound I added was this clap. Right after that, I added my hi-hat pattern. It's really simple compared to a lot of the other hi-hat patterns that I do use. The only thing that I did is I just used a 2-step pattern and I just added a few rolls here and there and adjusted some of the velocities just to give it the bounce I was looking for. So the rolls that I'm using in these highlighted areas right here, went up to the green magnet and I selected 1 half-step snapping. And then for these 2 rolls right here, I went ahead and used the 1/3 step snap setting. So next I added the snare, real basic snare pattern, and then I just added these two rolls right here, once again using the 1/2 step snap setting. After adding the snare, I then added this perc. Next, I added my 808 pattern, and if you look closely, you can kind of see that some of these notes hit similar to my bass note pattern in the piano and in the bass guitar that I did in the melody. I wanted to make it more powerful and give it that bounce that those YoungBoy tracks always have, so that's why my 808 pattern might look a little different in certain areas. And then lastly, I added this kick just to add some more punch and more power to that 808. Alright, so that's pretty much all I got. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope you're able to take something away from it. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. If you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments below. And that's all I got for this one. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Yo, Tez, what's up?